So this is me in my kitchen. It's the first time I'm using my selfie stick and it is amazing. I know everyone's already got one, but I'm a little bit slow on the uptake, but I quite like it. Anyway, so right now I am starting my prep for a St. Patrick's Day dinner tomorrow, and I've got, I think there's 8 of us eating around my tiny table, and I've only got 4 chairs, so hopefully someone can bring some chairs. So right now I'm going to boil some potatoes. Yay! The first thing you do is peel some potatoes, which is what I've been doing for the last 15 minutes, and I've got my first batch on the go. Now, because I'm feeding so many people, I've had to do a whole 2 bags of potatoes. So you peel and boil them. I've got a little tip for you. I haven't got a blender, so to make breadcrumbs I use breadsticks, and I leave them in the packet, and all I do is get a rolling pin and literally just bash them up, and they make good as breadcrumbs as panko breadcrumbs. See? So as you can see, my mash is piping hot. And it's ready to go. I've seasoned it, I've got some butter in there, I've put some double cream in there, and now it's time to mash. Just like, you remember that Lurpak advert? Mash, 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 mashing! It could take a while. So once everything's finished boiling, mine still hasn't because I've done so many potatoes, you have to flour, egg and breadcrumb it. But before you do that, you take a lump of mashed potato, you put a piece of Wensleydale and a dollop of cranberry sauce or red currant jelly in the middle, make it into a ball, flour, egg, breadcrumb with the breadsticks, and then you deep fry and you're done. Balls. So what you do with your crispy balls, once you have flour, egg and breadcrumb them and put Wensleydale and cranberry sauce in the middle, is you deep fry them. But what you can do is part deep fry them and heat them up in the oven tomorrow. Ta-da! Okay, so now we've got the mood lighting going on. I'm going to make the next bit of my St. Patrick's Day dinner, and that is a Guinness and chocolate cake. And all I know is that I need all these things and this. So, I need 250 millilitres of Guinness, and I think I've got to boil this with butter. So I've got my 250 millilitres of Guinness, and actually this recipe is quite complicated, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. But it's a Nigella Lawson recipe, so you can get it straight off the internet. A Guinness and chocolate cake, easy peasy. So I've got my Guinness on the pan, and I've got 250 grams of butter chopped up. And it's starting to bubble away, so I think I've got to add this butter little bit by little bit till it melts. And I had a spatula, but I've lost it, so I'm just going to use a whisk. So the Guinness and the butter's bubbling away while the butter melts, and the kitchen's starting to smell like a Marmite factory. And in here I've got 2 eggs, some sour cream and vanilla extract. You've just got to whisk it together, ready to put into this mixture with sugar. So all the butter's melted, I've got my whisked up egg whites and my sour cream, and in here I've got my sugar and my cocoa powder. So apparently what I meant to do is once the butter is melted, I whisk in this. It's very complicated. So I just want to show you this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's like the thickest, chocolatiest, beery mixture, and it smells absolutely divine. I could just dip something in it. So in I go with my eggs and my sour cream. And I think we keep whisking, a little bit like when you make a bechamel sauce, I imagine. Well, that's what I'm doing anyway, and it seems to be working. So fingers crossed. And I think the next stage is flour. 250 grams of flour. Oh, that's 257 in there. Now that's done, it's going in the oven for 45 minutes at 180 degrees or gas mark 4. It's icing time. Okay, so I've got cream cheese in here. I'm going to sieve some flour into it, and then I'm going to whisk in some double cream, and then I might even add some lemons just to zing it up a bit. I'm not sure. No lemon needed. And that is me done. Woo! Cake's in the oven. All I've got to do is ice it when it's cold with that lovely icing that needs no lemon. Cook my ham for 2.5 hours and glaze it with cranberry sauce and some allspice and some red wine vinegar, and cook my veg. There's plenty there for everyone, and fingers crossed they love it. And when they get here, I'm going to fill them up with Guinness, feed their bellies, and we should have a good time. But for now, I'm going to sign off. I'm not cooking. I'm going to get a cup of tea, watch EastEnders, and call it a day. Good night. Cake!